You ever feel like no matter how hard you try, life keeps knocking you backwards? Seems like every time you build momentum, some problem or distraction stops you in your tracks. And you think to yourself, if I could just stay consistent, if I could stop getting distracted, I'd already be successful by now. And you're right, but the reason most people are stuck isn't because they're not capable. It isn't because they lack discipline. It isn't because they're not motivated enough. It's because success is spiritual. And until you understand the spiritual side of success, your physical effort will feel like pushing a car uphill with the brakes on. And I believe if you watch until the end of this video, that your life will never be the same again. There are revelations in here that changed the direction of my entire life. Most individuals feel scattered, unfocused, like their mind is all over the place, and they don't even realize it. Or they don't realize why it's happening. There are layers of comfort, distraction, and subtle addictions that quietly hand control of your mind over to the enemy. What if I told you that's not just a lack of discipline? That's a spiritual attack. That's witchcraft. It's a level of control coming straight from the enemy himself. Think about it. You ever eat the wrong food and suddenly you're exhausted for the rest of the day? You ever get tired out of nowhere and think about why? Ever load up on sugar and then crash? Ever drink too much caffeine and feel wired but mentally foggy? Too much caffeine is draining your adrenal glands. It's pulling you out of flow. And it's not just food, alcohol, weed, junk food, overstimulation. Every one of these addictions slows you down, dulls your spirit, and weakens your resistance to spiritual attacks. These aren't just small habits. These aren't coincidences. These are layers designed to weaken you spiritually, so you never focus enough to get ahead. Every time you start to build momentum, every time you finally begin to compound, you get hit again. Another craving, another distraction, another wave of fatigue that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's the TV pulling you in, keeping your mind numb, entertaining you. Maybe it's your phone, draining your attention. Maybe it's the quick dopamine that keeps you scrolling on your phone. Instead of building your empire or working on your legacy, the enemy doesn't need to destroy you. He just needs to keep you distracted long enough, numb long enough, and spiritually drained long enough so you never rise into the person God designed you to be, the best version of yourself. You know, there was a time in my life where I was doing everything right, it seemed like. Reading books, studying success, pushing myself to the limits, trying to stay focused, trying to reinvent my life through willpower at times. But no matter how hard I worked, I'd always feel myself getting pulled back again. One week I'd be unstoppable, disciplined, sharp, locked in, consistent, and the next week, everything would collapse again. My focus would disappear, my discipline evaporated, my clarity would begin to fog up, my habits fell apart again, and then I'd begin to drift. And this state of drift is what most people don't catch. And I was upset. Why can't I stay consistent? What is wrong with me? Why do I keep falling off? But here's the truth. I was fighting spiritual resistance. And it wasn't until I recognized that there's a spiritual side to success. That's when everything began to change. I began to fast in the mornings. I began to read the Bible. And my clarity began to return. My focus began to sharpen. And my energy began to rise again. And by fasting, the addictions broke. The distractions began to lose their grip. Purpose began to feel activated again. Because you cannot win a spiritual battle using physical tools. So addiction is spiritual control. Anything that overrides your will is spiritual manipulation. Paul asked the church, who has bewitched you? Addictions bewitch. Compulsions. Comfort bewitches. Overindulgence bewitches. Entertainment bewitches. It's spiritual control packaged as pleasure. And here's the breakthrough. Fasting breaks the spiritual control. Fasting breaks witchcraft. Fasting restores your authority. When Jesus fasted in the wilderness, he demonstrated dominion. When you fast, you take your mind, flesh, and focus back from the things that once controlled you. Break control, you regain clarity. Regain clarity, you regain your destiny. So let's talk about self-control and real success. When you master self-control, when you starve the appetites and addictions pulling you backward, you begin to take your power back. Because the moment you quiet the flesh, the spirit gets louder. Your focus sharpens. Your clarity increases. Your discipline compounds. And that's when you finally start to see success God's way. Not just financial success, though money is a part of it. Because part of being a steward is financially co-laboring with God, managing resources in alignment with heaven. But true success isn't money. True success is alignment with purpose. It's becoming the person God intended you to be when he formed you. It's walking in clarity. It's building instead of drifting. And now you see why the enemy fights your appetites so hard. And distraction doesn't just waste time. It wastes destiny. And here's what most people never connect. Your overstimulated appetite creates your distraction. When your flesh is constantly fed, your focus is constantly starved. This is why people feel scatterbrained, because their mind is overstimulated, overfed, and spiritually out of control. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you if he can distract you long enough to delay you. Minutes become hours, hours become days, days become months, months become years, and suddenly you look up and you're like, where has the time gone? Because you were kept busy instead of becoming all that you can be. And Napoleon Hill revealed this in Outwitting the Devil. The enemy's primary weapon is drifting, a slow, subtle slide away from purpose. If he can get you to waste another day, if he can get you to drift, if he can get you to waste another hour, another 5 minutes, you'll miss out on building. You won't grow. You won't execute. You won't multiply. A distracted person cannot build destiny. You've been captured by noise, captured by impulses, captured by the little things that slowly steal the big things God intended for your life. And people today struggle with ADHD. Why? Because their flesh is overfed. And it's not literally the diagnosis. It's spiritual warfare, overstimulation. When your flesh is overstimulated and overfed, your mind loses the ability to focus like it should. Your spirit gets drowned out by cravings, noise, and impulses. It gets pulled by entertainment. And the Bible warned us about this long before modern culture normalized endless consumption. Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat. For drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags. That's Proverbs 23:20 through 21. So overfed flesh equals undernourished focus. Jesus also said, be careful, or your hearts will be weighed down with drunkenness, carousing, and the anxieties of life. Luke 21:34. He was warning us that an overstimulated life produces an unfocused mind. The enemy knows this. If he can feed your flesh, he can starve your focus. If he can numb your mind, he can weaken your discipline. If he can keep you scrolling, snacking, overstimulated, and restless, you won't have the clarity or energy to walk out your assignment. A foggy mind is a spiritual attack disguised as normal life. So let's talk about the mind traps, limitations, and generational beliefs. Before we talk about consistency, before we talk about habits, before we talk about discipline, we need to talk about the mind you inherited, because some of you aren't fighting procrastination. You're fighting programming. Programming from the world, programming you didn't choose, programming modeled around you, programming that you learned from childhood, programming that's been passed down for generations. Things like be realistic, don't dream too big, people like us never get ahead, take what you can get, just survive, you're worth $15 an hour. These aren't just harmless sentences. These are identity shaping, destiny limiting beliefs handed down to you before you even knew who you were. Most families don't teach abundance. They teach survival, limitation, fear, and doubt. They teach you not to get your hopes up, so your expectations never rise high enough to match the future God designed for you. Here's the part nobody talks about. Generational curses show up in mindset long before they show up in behavior. You weren't taught to win. You were taught to cope. You weren't taught to expand. You were taught to shrink back. You weren't taught to build. You were taught to stay safe. If the enemy can shrink back your identity, he can limit your thinking. You cannot build a big future with a small identity. You cannot step into abundance with a scarcity mindset. You cannot become who God designed you to be while carrying beliefs from a generation that never broke through. And I know this because I lived it. So let's talk about the power of words. Your mouth is a spiritual weapon. Your words are spiritual tools. Your mouth builds your future or breaks it. The Bible says life and death are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. Meaning, you're never just talking when you're speaking. You're either planting or poisoning your future. And some of us aren't stuck because of our circumstances. We're stuck because of our confession. We're speaking the wrong things. We're complaining. We're speaking negative. You keep saying things like, I can't stay consistent. I always fall off. I never get ahead. I'm broke. People like me don't succeed. And you don't even realize, but you're speaking spiritual agreements that empower the enemy and weaken your own destiny. Words create momentum. Words create identity. Words create atmosphere. Words create expectation. God created the universe with his words, and we are creators, just like God our Father. And you create your world with your words. If you speak limitation, you'll live in limitation. If you speak breakthrough, you'll start moving like someone who expects it. Your tongue is the steering wheel of your destiny. If you want to change your life, you have to change what you're saying. Stop speaking from your feelings. Start speaking from your future. And most people think success comes from discipline, motivation, habits, planning, focus, time management. And these things are true, but it's spiritual consistency also that people miss. Because everyone with a gym membership will be shredded. Everyone with a planner will be productive. Everyone watching self-help videos would be wealthy, but they're not. Why? Because the real question isn't, what should I do? The real question is, why can't I get myself to do what I already know to do? That's the real battle. And that brings us to execution. You don't need more information. You need more execution, consistency. 95% of people watching this right now already know what to do. You know the habits you should have. You know the things you should stop doing. You know the direction God is pulling you in. You know the work that could change your entire life if you just did it consistently. Lack of knowledge isn't the problem. Lack of execution is the issue. And here's the part nobody talks about. Execution is spiritual as well. The enemy doesn't just attack your identity, your emotions, who you are according to the word, or your focus. He attacks your follow through. Because if he can break your execution, leave things unfinished, he breaks your transformation. Think about it. We've all had moments in our life where we were crystal clear on what needed to be done. The business we should start, the content we should post, the routines we should commit to, the changes we should make. And you felt fine. You felt the conviction. You felt the clarity. You felt the fire. But what happened? Distraction began to creep in. Doubt began to step in. Delay began to step in. Comfort began to take over. Why? Because the moment you decide to act, the enemy launches a counter attack. Because he knows once you start executing, once you start building, once you start applying what you know, you become unstoppable. And revelation without execution creates frustration. That internal clock is ticking, saying you know better, you know what to do. Execution is what turns spiritual insight into physical results. You can watch videos all day. You can read scripture. You can fast. You can pray. You can take notes. But at some point, you have to do the right thing you know God told you to do. And the blessing isn't in knowing. The blessing is in doing. Faith without works is dead. James 2:17. So you don't get breakthrough when you just understand the assignment. You get breakthrough when you execute the assignment. Because the moment you start applying what you know, heaven backs you, momentum hits you, and grace empowers you. Doors open that you couldn't open through discipline alone. Execution brings you in alignment. It brings you into obedience. It brings you into spiritual warfare. Because every step you take toward purpose is a step away from who the enemy wants you to remain. Sure, consistency can start with motivation, but discipline is what keeps you moving. And discipline is simply obedience and action. Do what you know. Do it before you feel ready. Do it while you're afraid. Do it when no one claps for you. Do it while heaven watches. Because God cannot multiply a blank page. He cannot bless what you refuse to build. But the moment you begin to move, things begin to move for you. So God isn't withholding success. He's been preparing you for it. He who began a good work in you will complete it. Philippians chapter 1 verse 6. You're not behind, you're being built. And everything you've been feeling, the resistance, the pressure, the spiritual tension, that's because you're getting closer. And that's it for this video. If this video has somehow changed your life, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with somebody who might need it. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been working on my book, The Power to Get Wealth. Well, the first version is finished, and this entire video is just a glimpse of the revelations God gave me that I put in the book about breaking limitations, stepping into the power to get wealth, success God's way. And a lot of you asked me, please write the book before the end of the year. We need this. You asked, I delivered. This is the 1.0 version again, the foundation, the revelation, the breakthrough. And 2.0 is going to be expansive, it's going to be exhaustive, and it's already being written and it's on the way. So the fully expanded edition, it's going to be even more power packed than the first. And if you get the 1.0 now, you'll receive the digital 2.0 upgrade free before it goes to print. And I'll link that down below, powertogetwealthbook.com, so you can grab your copy. And I'm excited. I'm building a community space where we can gather and grow and go deeper. It's not finished yet, but when it's ready, you can be a part of that, and I'll keep you informed in the next few weeks or so. So stay focused, stay aligned, stay consistent, because your success breakthrough is spiritual. And once it hits your spirit, your entire life will transform. Oh, and I just remembered I did extend the promo for the Digital Empire Blueprint, where I show you how I made a whole salary online. That's paired with the Power to Get Wealth book at an incredible discount right now. So you can get it for the rest of this week. I did open up that promotion for the rest of this week because people wanted to pay with a firm. They wanted to use Klarna, or they wanted to use PayPal. So I went ahead and did that for you. So you still have until Sunday to pick those up. And again, that's it for this video. Be blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. I'll see you soon.